I'm Richard B. Norgaard. I'm a professor at Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, in the Energy and Resources Group, and that is a graduate program that is highly interdisciplinary itself. It started with the energy crises of 73, 74, and then began to see the energy crisis as a social problem, as an environmental problem, and then climate change got folded into our program. So for 4 decades we have in effect been doing transdisciplinary research and trying to put it all together. And so, yeah, to some extent we are socioeconomic systems analysis. So for millennia, we've thought of nature as out there and apart from us. And it's, there's people and then there's nature. And the natural sciences have studied a nature that is out there apart from people. But as our own populations become larger, as their technologies become more important and our impacts become greater, we are very much a part of the system of nature and transforming nature. And we're now in we're in the Anthropocene, where we are the major driving force in nature. And so we have to shift from understanding nature, something apart from people, and then people apart from nature, and we have to put them together, and they have to be put together in a dynamic way. And so that's a socio-environmental system. So I have the great misfortune of being right at the interface of science and policy in California on the central problem of California, and that's water. Water is scarce, and for millennia, or not millennia, but since Mark Twain described the problem of whiskey's for drinking in California, water's for fighting over in California, this is our issue. And for about 60 years, the state of California has needed or thought it would build a canal around the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta to deliver water from Northern California to Southern California. And there are environmental impacts of this diversion system. And then there's water reliability benefits further south. And how do you get the people in the Northern California who would just as soon ship their water in gallon jugs to Southern California? There's a lot of political rivalry. But also the farmers in the area of the Delta who are dependent on the water, plus the people who like to fish, to come to some sort of an understanding of how we can manage the Delta and deliver water to Southern California. And we need to do this while we're also experiencing sea level rise, which will have great impact on the Delta, while invasive species are transforming the ecological system, the food webs of the Delta, while human produced nutrients and toxics are coming down the rivers as pollutants into the water. How do we grasp this very complex socio-environmental interaction and learn to get in front of it and how to manage it in changing conditions? And yeah, that's a long answer to a short question, but it's a very pressing issue. Yeah, we've got about 25 million people dependent for drinking water to some extent in this transfer process through the Delta. Well, it is the first acknowledgement by the National Science Foundation that science needs to change, that the separation between the natural sciences and the social sciences just can't go on. And SESYNC is really the first major effort to establish a research base, a base to stimulate the change. There's, of course, since the 1970s, there's been efforts to make some bridges between the disciplines and to address sustainability beginning in the 90s. But here it's taken as the need for not just joining the sciences, but for some underlying changes in how we even think about systems. And so I think that's a major transformation.